Okay guys, let's look at continuing to multiply polynomials. Up here we did quite a bit of multiplying. Another word for multiplying, just as a reminder, okay, multiplying means distribution, okay? We could say distribute, which just basically means like FOIL, or we could say find the product, okay? So all of these mean the same thing. Okay, this one, this one, this one, this one. Now, expand and simplify. Okay, one of the nice things I think I showed in that previous video is when we can keep these organized. I know I've got 2 terms in the first polynomial, in that binomial, and I've got 3 terms in this trinomial. So when I multiply each of these 2 terms by each of the other 3 terms, I'm going to multiply 6 times, okay? It's a lot of multiplication and it can get a little confusing. So one thing, and I do sometimes show this and sometimes I just do it the long way, but I think that this is a good way for us to keep ourselves a little bit more organized, is create a little chart, okay? And so when I do that, I'm just going to put, I need 6 kind of answers. So I'm going to go x squared minus 9, and then 2x squared plus x minus 3. See what I'm doing there? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 2x squared times x squared, and then 2x squared times negative 9. So what is 2x squared times x squared? That's 2x to the power of 4. Okay, keep in mind we're multiplying. If I said multiply 2 squared times 2 squared, well, that means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So a fancy way of writing that is 2 to the power of 4. Okay, and that's the same thing with this x squared times x squared. When we multiply powers with the same base, we add those exponents, right? X squared times x squared is x times x times x times x, which is x to the power of 4. Okay, when I multiply the next one, 2 times negative 9, that's negative 18x squared. Okay, let's do the next couple here. I'm going to go x times x squared and times negative 9. So what's that going to equal? That's going to equal x times x squared is x cubed. X times negative 9 minus 9x. And then let's do the last one. Okay, the last term here. Whoops, I've been doing that in a highlighter. A little bit easier to see. And then if I do this negative 3 times this and this, what do we get there? We get negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. And negative times negative, that's going to be a positive. 3 times 9, 27. Okay, it helps to know our times tables, doesn't it? So we can be really fast. Now I want to combine, see, that's a lot of terms to keep organized. I want to write that then in descending order. Okay, and just as a reminder, my largest degree term is 4. It's my leading coefficient there. Okay, that's going to be a 2x to the power of 4. The coefficient in front of my largest degree term, that's the coefficient 2, and that's the leading coefficient. Okay, my next, and there's no other like terms of x to the 4. There's an x cubed here, and that's a positive, so I'm going to go plus. And now I've got this minus 3x squared minus 18x squared. I lost 18 and I lost 3. I've lost 21x squared minus 9x plus 27. Okay, that's a lot of organization there. Okay, so if we can keep that organized, and that's as simplified as it can get. There's our answer. Yikers, okay? Look at that. That's the same thing with another one. So B, I'm going to miss. We would do the same idea, okay? Look at C here, people. C is a little bit frightening. We're going to do C and D, okay? So if I look at C, keep in mind a question like this, and I sometimes say in class, I'll say, if I were to multiply 2 times 3 times 4, if I told you guys to multiply that, okay, find the product. Well, I would go 2 times 3, which is 6, times 4, and I would get 24. Or I could do 2 times 3 times 4, and I would do 3 times 4, which is 2 times 12, which is 24. Okay? Or the last way we could do that, if I said 2 times 3 times 4, I could multiply the 2 times 4 and get 8 times 3, which is still 24. So the idea here is that I get the answer and then multiply it by the remaining factor to get my final product, okay? So when I'm doing this over here, what I want to do is I want to multiply these two guys, get the answer, and then multiply it by the third term here, or the third polynomial. So let's do the first two. If I FOIL that out, or if I want to do, let's keep it organized. We're going to go, let's do it in blue here, okay? I'm going to go x minus 2 times x plus 3, okay? X minus 2, x plus 3. When I multiply that out, I get x times x, which is x squared, negative 2 times x, negative 2x. X times 3, 3x, 3 times negative 2, negative 6. So see how each box, I fill that in. Now, I can also combine my like terms. Those are my two like terms. So when I simplify this, I get an x squared, a plus x, right? 3x minus 2x is 1x. So 3x minus 2x is 1x, which I can leave it like that, or I can write it as just x. Okay, so x squared plus x minus 6 times 2x minus 1. Okay, now I multiply that again. Okay, I have to multiply this out again. So not again, but I multiply this product here by this polynomial here. Okay, why don't I let you guys set up that box? Yes, okay, so let's finish this question up then. So again, I would make another chart, okay? And I know it's a little bit, perhaps, these are just long questions, right? So I'm going to create, right? I'm going 3 terms times 2 terms. So each term, 3 times 2 is 6, right? So I know I'm going to have to multiply 6 times altogether. So I've got my x squared, my x, and my negative 6, right? That's a plus x. And then my 2x and my negative 1. So what do we get when we multiply those out? Let's just go through. Let's x squared times 2x, that's 2x cubed. 2x times x, 2x squared. Negative 6 times 2x, negative 12x. And then x squared times negative 1, negative x squared. Negative 1 times x, negative x. Negative 1 times 6, negative 6. Positive 6. So I've just tried to be as careful as I can. Okay, sometimes I'll even like take my finger and be like, right? Okay, do that. So I make sure that I'm really careful and get those numbers all lined up properly. Now I want to again combine my like terms. So I've got a 2x cubed, and then I've got an x squared and another x squared term. So I've got 2x squared minus an x squared. That's minus 1x squared. That leaves me 1x squared, which I can just write as x squared. If you want to put a 1 in there, that's fine. And then negative x minus 12x. I lost an x. I lost 12x. Minus 1 minus 12. That's minus 13x plus 6. Okay, there is my answer. That is a long beast, isn't it? That's a long beast. Okay. Let's do question D, and then I'll give you guys an opportunity to try 1 or 2, okay? And then maybe we'll do that last one. Yikers, these are long. Okay, let's try this one. Let's do this one right here, okay? What I'm going to do here, this is a minus. So this is like saying 2 times 3 minus 3 times, I don't know, 3 times 6. Okay, if I did that, BEDMAS, right? BEDMAS, order of operations tells me I would do 2 times 3, which is 6, 3 times 6, which is 18. I would do the multiplication, then I would subtract. 6 minus 18, negative 12. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to multiply each set of binomials, and then I'm going to subtract. So let's go ahead and do that now. If I want, I can make my little chart. Okay, or if you want, these are just 2 by 2. I mean, you know, as something just different for those of you who don't like the chart or don't always, right? Y times y, that's y squared, minus 1y, minus 3y, plus 3. Okay, and then I've got this big minus sign, and then I'm going to do my other one over here. Y times y, y squared, minus 6y plus 2y minus 12. Ooh, and let's calm it down, Schwartz, before you move on. Guess what I need here? Because this is a minus sign, I need to put a big red hot or a little hot pink bracket here. Okay, we need to make sure that we simplify that, and this negative sign has to be expanded in. So let's simplify our like terms. Okay, we've got y squared negative y minus 3y minus 4y plus 3. Okay, I'm going to put that minus sign back down, and let's simplify or combine. So we're going to go y squared, and what's that? What is that there? That's a negative 6y plus 2y, right? Negative 6 plus 2. I lost $6, but I found 2, so I'm just down 4, right? Negative 4y minus 12. Now, what do we do with this minus sign right here? We're going to rewrite this as a plus, and every sign in here changes to the opposite. So now I've got y squared minus 4y plus 3 minus plus a negative, or you can say plus minus, negative y squared plus 4y plus 12. Okay, then we add these up. Well, what happens to our y squareds? This y squared cancels with this negative y squared, because 1y squared minus 1y squared is 0. Okay, and then I've got negative 4y plus 4y. Well, that's of course 0 as well. Okay, those are opposite integers. And I've got 3 plus 12. My grand answer here is 15. Look at that, all that work for 15. That's crazy. Okay, why don't you guys try, which of these looks harder? Maybe B. I think B, there's probably more room for error there. I think A is actually a little bit more straightforward. So why don't you try B, and then if you get a chance to try this one, great. Otherwise, we'll do that one together as well. So I would say pause the video and you do that try, okay? You try B. Pause that on your own. Okay, so when I got this answer, I got 2y plus 22. I would suggest that you go back and have a look at yours if you didn't get exactly that. And if you have any questions, you can, of course, contact me in class or by email. Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay, I'll just leave that up there for a second. You can have a look at that or pause the video and review my work versus yours. Okay. Example, let's look at this next one, expand and simplify. So again, this is very similar to what we have up here where we expanded and then we had to subtract. Same idea here. Let's go ahead, we're going to expand these 3 terms, then we will expand these 2 terms, and then we will subtract, okay? This minus sign always causes us a little bit of grief, right? But I would expand, and then subtract. So if I've got something like this first one, I'm going to expand that through there. Then I've got a 3x minus a 6. Get that answer, then that's times by x squared minus 3x minus 5. Okay? And then I'm going to put a minus sign in between there. And let's just do this. These two guys, FOIL that out. We're going to get 4x squared. 2 times 2 is 4. X squared plus 6x minus 6x minus 9. Okay? And then this guy over here, I'm going to make a chart because that's a 2 by 3. Okay? It's a little bit easy to make a mistake on those guys, so I think I'm going to just kind of keep myself a little more organized. I'm going to do my x squared minus 3x minus 5, and then 3x minus 6. And when I complete that, we get a 3x cubed minus 9x squared minus 15x, right? 3 times 3x, 3 times 5, negative, those are negatives. And then negative 6 times x squared, negative 6x squared, negative 6 times negative 3x, a positive 18x, negative 6 times negative 5, a positive 30, right? 2 negatives make a positive. And therefore, when I combine my like terms there, I'm going to get 3x cubed. Okay, I might even check them off as I go, right? And then what do I have next? I've got a negative 9 and a negative 6. So that's a negative 15, right? Lost 9, lost 6. I've lost 15x squared. I've got 18 x's and I lost 15. I had 18 and I lost 15, so I'm down to 3. I've got 3 x's and a minus 30. Okay, so there's my simplified these two terms. And then let's combine these next two. When we leave that bracket, that's 4x squared, positive 6 minus x, that's 0, minus 9. And now I need to distribute that. So that's a 3x cubed minus 15x squared plus 3x minus 30 minus 4x squared plus 9, right? We change this guy to a plus. That becomes a minus. That becomes a plus. Okay, you can write plus and negative 4x squared, same exact thing, okay? And then, finally, 3x cubed, we've got negative 15, negative 14. I've lost 15 and I've lost, negative 15, negative 4. I've lost 15 and I've lost 4x squared. I've lost 19x squared plus the 3x. And then negative 30 plus 9, that's minus 21. So there's our final solution to that question. Okay, if you would like to try the next one, that would be fine. I think that probably there's a lot of homework questions you could try as well. Okay, so I wouldn't even panic about that one right now. In your assignment, you could probably readily do number 1, ACE, all of 2, right? All of 3, 4A, and 5. That's kind of what I've got down here for today. Okay, thank you and good luck.